Hi guys, this week we're going to be learning about hotspots. These are places in the mantle where it's so hot it melts the crust above it. Now, last week you probably noticed that there were certain parts of the world that were in the center of tectonic plates, but they still had volcanoes. And I bet you were thinking, how could that happen? How could that be possible? Because we know most volcanoes occur at the boundaries of tectonic plates. But if you look at this map of Hawaii right here, Hawaii is a chain of volcanic islands, and we know it's in the middle of the Pacific plate. It's not near a boundary. So what we've figured out since has been that the mantle has got these hot spots. Here's an example of the crust down here, and here's an example of the mantle down here and the crust up above it. Now this mantle has got a hot spot right here. It's hotter than any place over here, and above it you've got the crust, and it's so hot right here it's melted a hole in the crust right here. And so basically there's magma. It's reaching up and it's making a volcano, and it's underwater at first, and those underwater volcanoes look really amazing. But eventually enough land builds up and enough igneous rock forms that it's a volcano and it's an island. So this represents Hawaii. There's a series of islands from Hawaii. Now what happens is this hotspot will always stay here, but the crust, as you know, is made of tectonic plates that move. And so that crust will move, and that volcano will eventually be far enough away that it's no longer above the hotspot, and there won't be magma for it anymore, and it'll go extinct, is what we call it, when there's no more magma erupting from it. So that won't erupt anymore, but you'll have a new one form right here. And so these ones that are over here, the further they are from the hotspot, the older they are. So let me show you this again. So on this diagram, the oldest volcano is over here, and it hasn't erupted in a long time. And as you get closer to the hotspot, you get newer and newer, younger and younger volcanoes. But I also want you to notice that these ones over here have been worn down, because as soon as the volcano stops erupting, there's no more rock that builds it up anymore. All right. Now we know that all rocks are constantly being broken down through weathering and erosion, and even volcanoes that are still building up. However, once it stops building up and it's just being broken down, it gets broken down more and more and more, and the volcano gets smaller and smaller because the rocks get weathered and eroded away. And so a lot of these times, these volcanoes, the islands disappear, and now they're just kind of mountains underneath the ocean. Those are called sea mounts because they're like underwater mountains in the sea. All right. So this week we're learning all about this hotspots and the chain of volcanoes that they form.